welcome back to my channel. My name's Elle. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today, exactly as you are. And thank you so much for giving me the space to be here today, exactly as I am. It has been a while, and I know I say this every time I upload, but it's genuinely been a while. Like, I think it's been over a month since I last uploaded, and I feel like similarly, pretty much about the same amount of time since I last vlogged. I've tried to film bits here and there. I even tried to film a reading vlog, but that was like my first time ever trying to film a reading vlog, and it was very boring. But I think today, or like this following vlog, is going to be like a mix between like a reading vlog and just like one of my normal regular vlogs. Sorry if you can hear a bunch of my family in the background. I haven't been vlogging the past month or so just because mentally and just like emotionally I haven't felt up to really talking to anyone about anything important. I have just felt very overall depressed, I would say. And it's odd that this is the first time I'm using depressed to explain like the low period that I've been going through, but saying it out loud, it does make a lot of sense. I've also just been I've just been at a very weird point like the past like month or so. Like, I just feel overall like stuck. Like, I kind of feel like I'm not making any progress forward, but I'm not necessarily like backtracking either. So it's just a very odd spot for me to be right now. Moving on from that, I did want to do a little book haul, both public library books and books that I bought, because for the first time in over like maybe probably like 2 years, I bought some books for myself, and I am so excited for every single book that I picked up. Oh my god, just looking at them now makes me want to read them all at once. But I do feel like very overwhelmed with kind of like all my book choices that I have. So the other day I started to reread A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard, and I'm on page 146, 147. I read that much all in one sitting, and I haven't picked this book up since, just because I was in a very upset mood, and since I've started reading books again, like, I just feel like my brain has been craving, like, yearning for some romance or something. And this is pretty much like the only like fluffy romance book that I own that I can think of, I'm pretty sure. And I don't remember anything about this book, so I figured it'd be a good reread. It follows a girl named Steffi and a boy named Reese, and Reese is deaf and Steffi is mute, and this book kind of just navigates their relationship. In the first 150 pages, there were definitely a lot of moments that kind of made me cringe, especially Steffi relating like her muteness to Reese's deafness, like calling herself a freak to Reese's face when they're kind of like in this community together. Like, Steffi at the beginning of the book was very much just screaming, "I'm not like other girls," very much like from her descriptions and just like kind of like the writing style. Like, Steffi is definitely like, "I'm not like other girls, I'm quirky, I'm weird, I'm different, like no one likes me, meh," you know? But it is a little bit better. Once again, I haven't picked it up in a few days, and I don't know if I will, just because I wanted something like lighthearted and something rather easy to get through. And I mean, I read nearly 200 pages in one sitting, but I don't know if this is necessarily my vibe right now, especially because I have 9 books staring at me. We'll go ahead and start off with the books that I got from the library. So the first book that I picked up is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and from what I can gather, this book kind of takes place in Wonderland, as in Alice in Wonderland, but it doesn't follow Alice. It follows a girl named Catherine who I believe is in line to marry a royal, but she doesn't want to be a royal. She kind of just wants to be a baker. So in the midst of trying to get courted, she starts a relationship with the handsome and mysterious Jest. And they start like a secret relationship and stuff, and it kind of just follows Catherine's life, and I'm really excited. And the Lunar Chronicles used to be one of my absolute favorite series. I read the first 3 books, which are Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress, very quickly. Like, I loved that series, and the font in this book is just so nostalgic because it's the exact same font used in the Lunar Chronicles, and like it just makes me feel some type of way. I can't explain to you. I definitely want to reread and finish the Lunar Chronicles because after I finished the first 3 books in like middle school, winter was coming out, I believe, like later in the year. So I ended up getting it for a Christmas present, and it is actually right down there. But I never ended up reading it because by the time I got it, I had pretty much forgotten all that had taken place in the Lunar Chronicles, and I wanted to reread it to catch up, but I just never got around to it. And then I fell into like a 4+ year reading slump that I'm slowly finally starting to get out of. So, you know, things happen, but I definitely want to reread all the books in the Lunar Chronicles because I do feel like I'll love it even more now that I'm older and like able to understand so much more about like just worlds and things. But anyways, so yes, I'm really excited for Heartless, and the cover is just absolutely to die for. I will once again always hate that libraries laminate their covers. But you gotta do what you gotta do, and I'm gonna take, and especially, oh my god, when this book, oh my god, this book is so pretty. Hold on, let me get the dust jacket off. You're kidding. I genuinely wasn't expecting this. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Are you ready? Like, look at this. Look at how, if I had this book, I would keep it out of its dust jacket all the time. Like, you're kidding. You're kidding. I don't even know what it looked like underneath the dust jacket until this very moment, and I can't stop looking at it through like my phone screen. I love it. I love it. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Moving on. The second book that I picked up from the public library was The Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. And I've been seeing a lot about this on book Twitter. And from what I can gather from this synopsis is it follows twins, Emilia and Vittoria, until one day Vittoria goes missing and eventually she's found dead. So Emilia seeks out to find the killer of her sister to like avenge her. And during this, she meets Wrath, one of the princes of hell, and I guess there's definitely like a romance with them. The next book that I picked up from the public library is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus, and I believe they just came out with a show, which is why I kind of got the urge to read it, because I knew that there would be a lot of discussion about the show. Speaking of, I don't know if I'll watch it, but I have heard that this book is really good and it's intense, and I've seen it so often, but each time I'm like, I don't necessarily know if this is something that I'll like, but I've just been really pulled towards like thrillers and things lately, so I do feel like this could be a good read for like the time. 5 people and they all get detention for something, and then one of them dies in that room. And it kind of just follows everything that unfolds with like all of that. I don't know. It seems kind of intense if you ask me. So we'll see. I'm just not the biggest fan of like friend group stories, which is really silly because that list 6 is on my TBR, and I know that that kind of is very much like a friendship story or like a group story, but I've heard that those characters are very like morally ambiguous, like morally gray, so I kind of hope that maybe a few of these characters will be morally ambiguous, because that'll help me like them a lot more, because I really love characters that are inherently evil. And I can't explain why, but I'm just like, yes, like I love understanding like the justification of like the things that they're doing. Like, then I think I'm so excited but so anxious for this one, because I've heard so much discourse on book Twitter about this being an amazing, amazing, amazing book. And then I watched Books with Chloe's vlog about her reading it, and she was disappointed, like incredibly disappointed. I feel like her and I have really similar tastes in books. I'm very hesitant about this one because These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, because this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and this follows Roma and Juliet and historic Shanghai. And yes, I've heard so many good things about this on book Twitter, but then Books with Chloe, seeing that she didn't like it, made me really hesitant. And I was going to pick this up, like an actual copy for myself, but because she had such a lackluster reaction, I decided to hold off, because I do not want to buy a book that I won't like. It's gonna have a sequel titled Our Violent Ends, which, if this book like doesn't hold a lot of romance like Chloe was saying, and it's very plot driven, maybe I will end up liking the second book a lot more. But I'm not gonna make any judgments before I've even read this book. Like, we're gonna see. I'm gonna give it my best shot, you know. I'm not going to let what one of my favorite booktubers said deter me from reading this book, because before I heard that she didn't like it, like it was very high on my TBR list. So those were all the books that I picked up at the public library that I'll obviously have to return. I don't own them. But the 5 books that I picked up for myself that I own that I do not have to return, which makes me so happy, because the public library for just like a really long time has been like my best friend. Like, you can tell by my bookshelves that I don't own a whole lot of books, but I definitely want more. The first book that I picked up is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and I picked this up at the thrift store. Do I know what this book is about? No. But have I heard that it's a classic and that everyone needs to read it? Yes. So is that why I picked it up? Yes. Because it's only like $3 at the thrift store, and I'm like, okay, like I feel like this is definitely just a book that I need to own. The second book that I picked up, which honestly the cover just itself is immaculate. Like, I love this cover so much. It is Foul is Fair by Hannah Capin, and taking the dust jacket off, it is just the same vibrant yellow. This book follows a group of girls. A group of girls are primarily the main character, Jade, and she kind of just goes through a really traumatic event and then decides to take revenge on all of the boys that hurt her during this traumatic event that took place. So it's about a bad bitch getting shit done. And if you know me, you know that I really liked Genuine Fraud, and Genuine Fraud is also kind of just about a bad bitch who necessarily isn't the best person, but that doesn't matter because it's a bad bitch getting shit done. And I'm really excited for this book. It's only like 300 pages, like 324. It seems like a super short read. The opening is just really, like, it pulls you in. And then the second book that I picked up was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And I am so ready to cry with this book. I don't know anything about this book and I kind of want to keep it that way. Like, I want to go in blind, but I've heard that everyone has cried reading this. So I'm ready for the tears. I'm ready for the waterworks. Like, I'm ready for it. And that's all I gotta say. The third book that I picked up, which I'm also so excited about, and I'm kind of sad that they didn't have the other cover, but this one is also really pretty. It is Normal People by Sally Rooney, and this follows two people who kind of fall in love and then fall out of love, and it's very just like a raw and real look at a relationship. Even though I haven't read this, like, going in completely blind, I have heard that her writing is like rather cynical, but that's the realistic part of it. So I am really excited for this, and if I like this, I want to read Conversations with Friends. So, and then also like Beautiful World, Where Are You, I believe. And then the last book that I picked up is so exciting for me because I finally own my very own copy of We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. If you remember, this was the book that brought me out of my reading slump like a few months ago. Like, I believe I read this for the first time in August, and I just knew as soon as I finished it that I had to pick up a copy for myself eventually so I would be able to go back and annotate all of my favorite lines and just like fully reread this to like the best of its ability, because like I can't explain how much I love this book. Like, I can't explain how much I love this book. Like, it is so good. It is so good, and I'm so excited to just go through all the emotions again. I'm so excited to be like knocked literally off of my seat. Like, I'm so excited for this book. I really am. Yeah, so this follows a prestigious family who spends, I believe, their summers on a private island, and pretty much the main character is morally ambiguous, morally gray, you know? So that's really interesting from the get-go, and it kind of just follows like her and her friend group, and an accident happened, but we don't know what the accident is. So this book is kind of just us finding out everything the same time the main character does, and it is just so good. It is so good, and I want E. Lockhart to put out more books. I want to read more of what they have to say. Like, I do want to read more. And can we just talk about like how floppy this is? I didn't do it for the others, but like every single paperback that I got is so floppy, and I'm so excited. Like, we love a good floppy paperback. So a little update, I suppose, on my reading status. I am only like 13 pages in To Foul is Fair, but like literally within the first like 10 pages there was a line that I just 100% fell in love with. And oh, it was on page 4. And it's the main character saying, "I feel dark wings growing out of my back. And I smile into the mirror at the girl with ink-stained fingers and a silver sword." And like, oh, that I just feel like is so good, like so powerful. I love like strong evil women. I went on a rant about that yesterday. So I kind of rearranged my wall a little bit because today I just decided to print some photos for like a wall collage, and I want to print a few more, but I feel like that's a good size. Like it fills up the wall nicely. So I took all the art that I had on this wall previously and stuck it on the wall opposite to my bed. So yeah, now all that art is over there. I'm not 100% sure about the placements, but that's just what I've done for now. It may change, it may not change. I'm not sure. But right now, I just started watching the 3rd season of You. I'm on episode 1. I'm just like maybe 10 minutes in. And Joe is such a crazy asshole because he's just talking about love. Like he also doesn't kill people. You know? So that's where I'm at right now with that. How are you? Let me know how you are. Because I want to know. Yeah.
Amelia, Mionette, the marvelous Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia. It happens all the time. And happy birthday.
Hello, folks. I do think that this will be a continuation, like, of the vlog that I started filming last week, but it is currently Wednesday, October 20th, and it is my first day off of the week. I kind of just spent the first half of the day to myself. One of my worst traits is that whenever I'm depressed, I think buying things will fix that depression. So a few days ago, I ordered a few things on Etsy, and I'm so painfully used to Amazon that I want them to be here already. And in the next couple days, I'm also going to be buying a new desk and just a whole bunch of things to go along with that. So my room will be getting a little bit more of a transformation. If you watched any of my vlogs from Kansas City, you would know that I didn't have a desk up there. My desk consisted of like a storage bin stacked on top of a cardboard box, stacked on top of my typewriter with a piece of like foam poster board on top, and that was my desk. Here, my desk is a very wobbly, small thing that I believe I got maybe, I know I got it in middle school, but I did find this cute little tray that I will use to hold all of my stationery. I was also saying that I buy things whenever I'm depressed, which is why I mentioned the desk and like the art prints. And this was another kind of impulse feel good buy, and it did its job because I think it's really cute, and even showing you guys, I'm like, yes, it's adorable. I love her. And then probably the biggest emotional impulse buy would be, I am now like every other bitch. I bought these today. I bought them today. And I love them. While I was kind of like shopping around downtown, I had them on and I just felt like such a cool bitch. I was like, nobody can touch me. Nobody talk to me. Like, I'm unstoppable. I think I have a reading update for you all. I don't really know, but I'm on page 23 of Fallow's Fair. I really haven't read much in the past few days. I think the last time I read this was maybe like Sunday or Saturday. Saturday, I think, was the last time that I picked this up. Today I also discovered that my creamer froths up like a cold foam. So I've kind of just, this is my second cup of the day of iced coffee of the day, and it's 3 p.m. so I very well may regret this. But I am just on chapter 5, which is page 35, and I think from what I can remember, I was really enjoying it. Obviously, I'm only on page 35, so I'm really not too far into it at all, but Jess and Kath kind of had like their first little interaction already, and I'm just like, okay. Like, I definitely can feel like there will be something between them, and I'm excited for it. Good morning. It is Thursday the 21st, and one of my Etsy orders came in today, and I'm gonna open it. So it is this print that I ordered from an artist. I'll link them down below, but oh, don't you just think it's absolutely stunning? Here's some little ASMR for you. so pretty. I could totally have it replace the moon. I feel like it would look good here. So this is my outfit because the high is like 64 degrees today and I just feel like literally it's fall, like it's fall. So I'm just wearing this thrifted sweater along with this dress that I mainly kind of just want to use as a skirt, and then I'm just wearing my maroon thigh highs and these Steve Madden platform boots. Good morning. It is nearly 10:30. I woke up feeling a little bit under the weather, but I do think that it may just be like allergies getting to me and stuff. Do you see the squirrel? Honestly, I probably got sick just from like how often I have my windows open, just because I really like feeling like the nice fall air, but the nice fall air definitely doesn't help my allergies whatsoever. I don't have any reading updates for you all. As you just saw, I stripped my bed because I'm washing my sheets and stuff. My cat Astrid has just recently taken a liking to sleeping like right on top of my head. So my pillows are just covered in cat hair, and I'm not allergic to cat hair, but it's just been making me sneeze like a lot more. Other than that, I don't really have any updates. My desk should be here later in the week. I'm getting some of the accessories for it like today already, like which is the day after I ordered everything, which is rather exciting. I'll most likely be staying in this hoodie the rest of the day. So yeah, if you watched any of my vlogs from last winter, which is kind of right around the time I got this hoodie, it was my depression hoodie back last year, and I do think that this is just also my depression hoodie once again. But I'm honestly not feeling too bad today, mentally speaking. Physically, you know, I'm feeling kind of bleh, but mentally I don't think I'm doing too awful. I've just spent like a lot of time watching like comfort movies and just doing things that bring me comfort, so I do think that is helping, and that is just really nice.